Uh-huh. Click the link and dive right in. AI bites in every spin.
All right, so let's jump right in. Today we're doing a deep dive, one of our deep dives into M.C. Escher.
Oh, Escher.
That's right. The guy with, the impossible staircases and all those crazy patterns and landscapes.
Yeah. The mind-bending stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I bet you've seen his prints around. I mean, I feel like they're everywhere, right?
Oh, yeah. They're like, dorm rooms, museums.
Yeah.
T-shirts.
Exactly. And the thing is with Escher is that it's so easy to just, get lost in those images.
Yeah.
They're so visually captivating, right?
Right.
But what we're going to do today is go a little bit deeper.
Oh, okay.
And actually look at some of his writings. We've got this book here, which has a collection of his thoughts on his own art.
Oh, interesting.
And what's so cool about it is it also has some previously unpublished lectures.
Oh, wow.
Which is really exciting.
Straight from the source, so no filter, basically.
Yeah, it's really like, get to hear directly from Escher.
Mm-hmm.
No middleman,
Yeah.
no critics or historians kind of giving us their take.
Right.
It's just Escher talking about his art.
Yeah.
And one of the things that really struck me about this as I was kind of going through the book and preparing for our deep dive today was how he refers to himself.
Okay.
And it's interesting because you think of Escher, you think of artist, right? Big A artist.
Right. Yeah, of course. Genius.
Genius, exactly. But he really didn't see himself that way.
Huh.
He really saw himself more as an artisan.
An artisan.
Yeah, like a craftsman.
Interesting. So what does that tell us about him?
I think it's really fascinating because it kind of points to his emphasis on process and technique.
Oh, okay.
So it's not so much about, expressing big emotions or, trying to convey some grand philosophical statement or anything like that. It's really about the challenge of translating complex mathematical concepts into a visual form.
Interesting. So he's like almost like a builder in a way.
Yeah.
Kind of like a master builder.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
And the book also talks about this real fascination that he had with contrasts.
Contrasts.
Which we see that a lot in his work.
Yeah, well, you think about, I don't know, like day and night, for example.
Yeah.
Where you've got these birds, they're sort of morphing into the landscape, and there's that interplay of light and shadow.
Exactly, and it's like he's constantly exploring the boundaries between opposites.
Yeah, totally. And it's not just light and shadow. I mean, he was also, like, obsessed with these impossible geometries.
Right.
The structures that you can draw, but they could never actually exist in 3 dimensions.
It's like, the staircases that never end, or go in a loop. And
it's like he's bending reality on paper.
Exactly. And what's so cool is, like, the book brings this to life because we actually get to hear him talk about it.
Oh.
In his own words. And you can really feel his excitement for these ideas.
Like, what's an example of something he's talking about?
Well, he goes into quite a bit of detail about, some of the mathematical principles behind his work.
Okay.
And it's, it's interesting because you can tell he's not like a dry academic, like, talking about it.
Yeah.
He's got this real passion for these concepts. And then we get into those unpublished lectures, which is really a treat.
Oh, so remind me about those. They were supposed to be for an American audience, right?
Yeah, they were intended for a lecture tour he was going to do in the U.S.
Okay.
But unfortunately, he got sick.
Oh, no.
And wasn't able to actually deliver them.
Oh, that's a shame.
So these lectures were basically lost until they were kind of, rediscovered and put into this book.
Yeah.
And it's almost like we're getting, this secret glimpse into his process and the evolution of his ideas.
Wow. So it's like a fly on the wall in his studio.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
And he talks about, everything from his early influences to his travels to the struggles he faced as an artist and some of the breakthroughs he had. It's really personal.
Wow.
And very insightful.
So it's not just like technical stuff. He's also talking about his personal experiences.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's cool.
And beyond the lectures, we also get some personal letters that he wrote.
Oh.
And some articles that he had published in various, publications.
Oh, wow.
And even transcripts of some speeches.
Wow. So this book is like a full picture of Escher, the man.
Yeah, it really is. It really does give you a much more complete picture of him as a person,
Right.
beyond just the artwork itself.
And that kind of brings us back to that idea of him being an artisan.
Right.
Does that change how we see his work?
I think it does. I think it does because, it's like knowing the secret recipe behind a delicious dish.
Yeah.
You can appreciate it even more knowing all the thought and care that went into creating it.
Totally. So the next time you see one of his prints like hanging on a wall or something, it's good to keep that in mind. Like, remember the man behind the art.
Exactly. It's not just some, magical genius who just kind of whipped this stuff up.
Yeah.
It was someone who really dedicated his life to this craft.
Mm-hmm.
And and I think it's inspiring in a way.
Oh, for sure.
I think that, knowing that he approached his work with such dedication.
Yeah.
And really put in the time and effort to master these techniques.
Yeah.
It's something that we can all learn from.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a good reminder that anything's possible if you put in the work.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you're interested in learning more about Escher,
Yeah.
I definitely recommend checking out this book. It's called M.C. Escher, The Graphic Work.
Perfect. We'll put a link in the show notes.
Exactly. Yeah, we'll have a link there so you can find it easily.
Awesome.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us on this deep dive into M.C. Escher.
It's been a pleasure.
And keep exploring and keep questioning the reality around you, right?
Absolutely. Never stop questioning.
That's right. And we'll see you next time on the deep dive.
See you later.
Click the link and dive right in. AI bites in every spin.